Hello there. And today was a pretty nice day, though I did not go outside. I see Claude is here. Hi, Claude. How are you doing tonight? I finally finished my book. I'm no more messing with it. No more tweaking. No more editing. I'm not even gonna look at it. Hi, Greg. There she comes. Yep. So the book is done. The tweaking is done. The editing is done. And now I've started trying to find the pieces for books 2 and 3 that I had written as prompts in my blog. So I found one. It's completely copied over, but it's number 3. So now I'm trying to, I found finally 2, and it takes a while to copy 40 some parts over. Thank you, Claude. Yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, it's only been a year since I started it, but I kept changing things so many times. I kept rewriting it and rewriting it, and I didn't think I'd ever get done. I asked somebody, I said, do you ever finish writing, or you just keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking? You just have to make a decision. So I made the decision. It's done now. It's going to the editor, and we'll see what she has to say. I'm done tweaking now. I'm so tired of reading that story. I must have read it a couple hundred times, if not more. And every time I would change something. So it's time to stop. Claude can relate to those rewritings. It gets a little out of hand after a while. It's just like, no, not again. Just this one thing. And then I read a little bit further. Oh, well, maybe I should just one more thing. And it got out of hand. It's due July 1st to the editor. So if I mess with anything now and really screw it up, I may not have time to fix it. So it's done. It's going the way it is now. I have 2 going. She's actually going to look over the memoir that's on my blog and go ahead and edit that one as well. It's already up there, but I might also get it edited at the same time. And then those 2 will be completely edited. And if it gets to the point that sometime along the way I can actually publish it, then it'll be ready. But if not, it's going on my blog for people to read, free. I don't get anything out of it except enjoyment. Somebody might enjoy reading my work. And I have gnats, and they're driving me crazy. Like, they're in my face. On the computer, they're in my face. They keep hitting me. That's what happened. I had the domino effect. I made the choice to change. Hi, Kelly Reese. I hope you're planning on staying around and writing with us. And then, yes, the domino effect. And I just finished cleaning up my last domino effect. And that's why I'm afraid to touch anything else, because that was such a mess. So I don't want to do that ever again. I'm probably sure I will do it again. I'm not absolutely positive I'm going to write another book, but I have 2 starts if I want to work on them. And I plan to do nano with one of them, maybe both of them. I'm a nano rebel, so if I decide to work half on one and half on the other, that's what I'll do. But they're, they were written for prompts for my blog, and they're not really written as true mysteries or whatever. So, they need a lot of work if I'm going to make them as part of my mystery series. And so I don't know. I'm not really a novelist. I found that out after suffering for a year with this book, that I really prefer writing short stories and poems. And that's what I do on my blog. And so I might just say, stop here. It can stand alone. It doesn't need to have other books to continue on. If I feel like writing a series, or maybe later down the line, I can do it. So that's where I'm leaving it now. Right now, though, I'm trying to get the pieces off my blog, because I wrote them as individual blog posts. So I've had to go and find all the pieces. That's the fun part. One's done, one's partially started. So, and that's the one I wanted to do next. So I have to finish it if I decide to do that. So we'll see where we're going with that. So what are you guys up to today? I ended up going back to bed today because my aide woke me up early this morning. And then I was in so much pain. I said, I'm going back to bed. It's terrible. Claude says, I'm outlining and taking solid notes to avoid the rewrites again. Just flushed 37K recently. Wow. Mine at the most, I'm an underwriter. I do not write super long things. Mine ended up just under 50,000 words. It's like 49 something. And I'm just not a long book writer. Maybe someday I'll get to that point. But right now I'm not. And I don't know if I ever will, because I might just go back to writing short stories. So Greg is going to work on the editing of the next video for his channel. Greg is doing really great. He is getting tons of followers with his programming channel. He's really found quite a niche, and it's rapidly growing. He's doing super great. I won't finish it today, but I just want to get a little done so I don't have to do too much at once. Sounds great. Claude says, I guess it could count as an exploratory draft. Doug says, I wrote over 400 words earlier today on my chapter 5. So you're on chapter 5 now. So does that mean when you get to 6, we'll get to see 4, 5, and 6? Or do we have to wait until you get it all back from the proofreader before we get a chance to see it? I haven't talked to Melanie, so I don't know what she is doing, or if she's waiting for the whole book. I don't know. I know she asked you for the whole book, but I don't know if she's waiting for the whole book. So, okay. So let's get the first sprint. Greg says, within the last 2 days, my channel has hit a wall. I think YouTube has changed the algorithm. I used to go 3 subscribers a day. Today I lost 2. It does happen. And I was moving along nicely. For me, I thought it was a pretty nice thing. And I hit my 100. And then all of a sudden I started going backwards, and then I got up again, and I started rising again, and then I started going backwards again. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, what's happening to cause it to happen? I don't know. Let's see. Well, I could send you chapter 4 today if you want and are happy with it not being proofread. I'm fine with that. I mean, I can point out things I notice. I mean, your proofreader might have more experience than me, but I could certainly point out anything I do notice if that helps you any. But I would be glad to take chapter 4 and not wait for the rest of them. That's fine with me. Do you need my address again? It's in the description. or I could give it to you here. I mean, obviously my email address is available for anybody if you still need it. But it is in the should be in the description underneath the screen, whatever you call it. I don't know. It's there since told Melanie only the first 2 chapters are available. Yeah, okay. Because I know she wanted the whole thing. I did see that part where she wanted the whole thing. But I am happy with just 4. If you want to send me 4, because they're long chapters, they take a little time to read through. So I would be glad to take 4. You have to put it in the Google Docs because the PDF I can't correct it. I can't put a note on it. I can't not correct it. It's up to you to correct it. I can't put a note on there with my PDFs are not. I don't pay for editing purposes. So when you send me that, I can't do anything with it. And it would take forever to write notes out and try to explain where it was and what it is. It's so much easier to do it in Google Docs, just like you did. Hi, Stig. How are you? So it's a lot easier if you put it into Google Docs and send it that way. But not by that link. Send it to me to my email address, directly to my email address, which is the first choice. And then I can open up the document and then I can go ahead and edit it. Otherwise, I'll have to do what I did before, copy the PDF into Google Docs and then send it to you to share after I make my suggestions. I shouldn't say corrections. I'm not correcting your document. I'm giving you suggestions. Sometimes my mouth doesn't work right. So we're getting ready to start it's 3 a.m. where you are? Wow. You're on the other side of the country then, because I'm in the U.S. and it is 9 o'clock here. Okay. BH is here. Hi, BH. Nice to see you. I'm glad that Stig was able to find me at the right time that they're looking for somebody to have time to edit your short story. Cool. Stig says I printed it and now going through taking notes and doing small edits on paper. Never done that before. So helpful to print it. I've never printed mine. I do it all on the computer. You're in Norway. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm in the East Coast of the U.S. I'm in New Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl. All right, well, let's get our first sprint going. 20 minutes, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Happy writing, everybody. I will be back in 20 minutes or less now. right. I probably missed you, BH, but nice to see you. Have a nice visit with your family. Megan says, hi, Tessa. Just popping in to say hello and hit the like button. I'm hosting my own live stream at the moment, so I can't stay. All right. I will do my best to try and pop in over there on the next sprint if I remember. My memory's not so great, but thanks for stopping by. Laura's been cleaning her apartment tonight. No writing. And I know you're getting ready for your family to descend with puppy. So you will be confined to your apartment for 2 weeks, I think you said. That's rough. I know it's only 1 bedroom. Lizzie says, hey, scary day. I've been having health issues for 2 years, and after my dad finally believed me and took me to the doctor today, got an x-ray, and they found out I have huge balls of black gas inside of me. What in the world? Not to mention the doctor was not in a good mood. She looked at me like I had 3 heads. What do you mean? Oops. Sorry. I got involved in the things and I forgot. Lizzie says, what do you mean this isn't a diet problem? Just stop eating those eggs and shrimp. She clearly didn't understand what type of eggs and shrimp I was eating. What kind of eggs and shrimp are you eating? Lizzie says, now I need to take 2 meds every time I eat anything. Oh, jeez. Thank goodness they don't taste nasty like my spelling pills. Holy moly. You do have some interesting issues, Lizzie. You ought to write about them. So that everybody always tells me when I tell them the crazy things going on. Greg says to me, I sent you the link. Please check that it is all right. I don't like Google Docs. It messes up the layout. I tried to fix it, but please don't adjust the layout. I know better than adjust the layout. I am well aware, believe me, of how Google Docs does. That's why I don't like using them, because it does screw up your layout. Don't worry about it. I just ignore that part. It's the story I'm interested in, not the crazy layout it might have done. I know it does weird things. It skips over lines. It indents some, doesn't indent others. Yeah, it's a mess. I'll check it out in a second here. Lizzie says scrambled eggs and cooked shrimp, both healthy. I have them on different days. I don't even see why you couldn't have them on the same day, but I don't understand. I mean, I'm glad they found something to help, because it sounds like a hard thing to have to deal with, though. Every time you eat something, you have to take a pill. Her issues have ruined my life. 2 years of sleep out the window, random attacks in public and while doing school. Tired of having ruckus going in them at random moments for hours on end. Oh, Lizzie, I don't know what to tell you. I can't fix it, obviously, or I would. There was something I could possibly do to help. But there isn't anything that I can really do to help you. It's not the food I eat. It was the prune juice my dad has been giving me since I was 6. I never needed it, but I drank it anyway. He thought I still needed it. Prune juice is usually given to people who are prone to constipation. Prune juice, if you're not constipated, can cause a lot of the opposite issues. So it's not something you need to take if you don't have an issue. Now, my daughter, unfortunately, we didn't know it at first. She was constipated. We thought she had diarrhea. Come to find out it was constipation. And she constantly has to worry about prune juice. That is something that, you know, it's not a regular part of her diet, but there are times when she's got to do it. So, but no, you shouldn't be drinking that every day if it's not something you need it for. Definitely not. uh, well, hopefully you will stop drinking the prune juice. Get that out of your diet. Okay. I caught up on Instagram and did a few more transfer chapters over to the document from my blog. That takes so much time. And one of them was 44 parts and one of them was 50 parts. So, yeah, it takes a while. I'm only copy pasting it, but it still takes a while. I'll be glad once it's all completely copied over and then I can mess with it. Heather's coming in to say hello. Hello, Heather. Nice to see you. Lizzie says, I won't drink it anymore. Now I need months of pills to aid me. Probably have to wean you off it somehow because good grief. Heather says, but I think I will stay and get a couple things done. Well, that's cool. That's great. Okay, I think I said hello to everybody now. Is that the first or the second sprint? I don't remember. I think that was the second one. I didn't change it. I think we're going on to the third sprint. I could be wrong. But I'm going to change it. So I will change it to third sprint. Okay. So we're going to set another timer. 20 minutes, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now let me see if I can find Greg's email. And then I have to go over to Meg. I know. I muted that before I was finished talking. Sometimes my brain just doesn't work right. That looks great, Greg. Like you said, of course, I know the layout is weird, but the story's there, and that's exactly the way I need it. As far as I know, I should be able to make comments on it as I read it. And I'd like to read it before I forget the beginning. So this is actually easier for me to read it chapter by chapter, because that way I don't forget what happened and have to go back and try to remember. So this would actually work out better, because they are such long chapters. Yeah, I got it. It's there. Worked out fine. So I will start reading that, and since it's only one chapter, it shouldn't take as long as the 3 did, depending on when I start reading it. But I got it, so don't worry about it. It's there. Thank you. Lizzie's rereading a pen pal romance, loving it until boy protag started talking to the boy next door. They're so boring to read together. Lizzie says the boy next door is great in the girls' chapters. It makes me laugh, not in the boys' chapters. My Atlantic teacher life is here. Hi, everyone. Well, hello to you. Nice to see you. We just started a 20-minute, so we're only 4 minutes, 3 minutes in on this third sprint. So I think it's the third. I might be wrong. It might only be second. I guess 10. Obviously, it has to be second. I did that wrong. All right, back to second again. Can't be 3. There's not enough time passed. All right, I'll make a second chapter. Second sprint. All right, so I will be back in 16 minutes. Got work to do. Good night, Claude. Hope I caught you before you left. Have a great night. You're very welcome to the sprints anytime. Heather says, I am starting to read Sarah Cannon's How to Plan and Write a Series workbook. It's really great. Yeah, she has a lot of available stuff on how to do just about anything. A lot of it's free. Just sign up for her newsletter and you get access to all her work. Some of it she charges for her classes and stuff, but yeah. Lizzie says time to take a shower, put up clothes, and read. Lizzie says boy Protac slams his head against the door on his first day working at his mom's new animal shelter. And I already welcomed my Atlantic teacher life. So I got all the comments taken care of, and this is timer is about to run out on me. I'm still copying and pasting each story piece from my blog. Thankfully, I made a list of each one to go back to the story, but so all the stories are listed. I just have to click on each one. Okay. My Atlantic teacher life says I just finished my map for my fantasy world. Well, that's cool. I don't write fantasy myself. I'm a contemporary writer. But it must be interesting. Not that I really have a desire to create my own worlds and stuff. It must be interesting to be able to have the option of able to do that, set up whatever you want it to be. It's just not my thing. I'm creating my own town. My whole story is based on a made-up town in the state of New Jersey where I live. And so, I'm familiar with the area, but, everything is fiction. There's, I tried to make sure there was nothing in there that actually exists in real life. Completely fictional. And if I do the series, it will be in the same town. Just the same characters even. They'll just, whoever will feature that particular book will be the one I focus on, but the other people will be in and out of the story. If I continue to write it, I still don't know. Right now I'm copying over books 2 and 3 that I started writing as prompts in my blog. And there's a lot of changes to be made because I made them all, happy. They didn't want anything, too dark, too sad. It has to be family friendly, all these lists of things. So the story that if I were to create it, it's just kind of a basic story to, go from, but it would have to be, obviously, if I'm writing a mystery murder series or whatever, it's going to have to be dark. We can't have all this happy, everybody's happy, everything's perfect. Doesn't work that way in real life anyhow. So that's where I am. So Greg says I did so little editing. It takes a lot of time. It does. Definitely. Oh, so I should not be yawning. But I am. Sorry about that. Heather says, yeah, and even the stuff on her Etsy shop isn't all that expensive either. We just got her planner printable for quarter 3 yesterday. Yeah, I haven't been to her Etsy shop. I have a happy planner, and I found the spot on, I think she was Etsy, but I go to her website, and she just put out a bunch of unnumbered pages, and I don't normally do that. I prefer them printed on there. But because I'm not going to be able to probably buy next year's, well, I have all of this year, and now I have next year's and half of the year after, because they're all unnumbered. And I can go and just, I hate doing that, having to number them, but this way I have them, because I'm not going to have the money to buy all the stuff that I'm used to buying, being on my own. So I'm trying to think ahead and get things prepared for when I move into assisted living. And right now, I'm still in the running. I found out today that they finally got my medical work that they asked for, and I'm still in the running. They haven't made a decision yet, so I may or may not get it, but I need to, certain things I want to have prepared for when I do go, because I know I won't have any. Government takes all but $50 a month from my check. I don't get a very big disability check, obviously. And they give me $50 a month to live on. That's to buy clothes, get haircuts, or whatever. So, you don't do much with $50 a month. So I'm trying to see if I can get ahead of the game with a few things like that. Because I can't buy the ones that are numbered right now because they're not available yet. But I can buy unnumbered and then just put them away for when the time comes. Not that I'm going to have a lot of room. Most likely it's going to be a very, very tiny place. But we don't know. Heather says all Sarah's freebies have so many thought-provoking questions. Well, she's been doing it for a while now. She's got a lot of experience. So, oh, sorry. So she's using them for the good, which is good. She helps other people out. And that's a good thing. I mean, sometimes printables are good for more than one time, especially if they're not, labeled with a year. There's going to be a Q3 every year. So if you buy Q3, then next Q3 runs around, as long as you save the file, you'll be able to print it again. I printed out a bunch of her stuff, and then I ended up, it's like not exactly what I was looking for. And I read through all of it. I can't believe I can't stop yawning. This is ridiculous. You would think I didn't sleep. I slept all day. That was part of the problem. Probably slept too much. But I don't have to get up early tomorrow, except the phone will be ringing nonstop. And I don't dare turn it off, especially now when I'm waiting to hear whether or not I get this place. Let's see. My teacher, Atlantic Teacher Life, says I managed to hit the 10K word mark on my religious cult mystery. I like to flip between projects. Me too. I don't like doing one thing at a time. I'm back and forth all the time. I understand that. Some people have to finish one thing before they can move on. And that's, that's the way they do it. And that works for them. That's great. But I'm one that likes to flip between projects. So I understand that. So congratulations on hitting the 10K words. That's good. I like mysteries. I'm trying to write. I wrote one. I'm not exactly super great at writing them, but I don't think it turned out too bad. Consider it as my first one. And I stopped reading them. So I got out of the habit when I was reading them all the time. Because they say you should read what you, write. and I always read them. And then all of a sudden I stopped reading for the last couple of years. I just haven't been interested in reading. And so I really don't know much about murder mysteries anymore. Ragging says, tired to me. I saw you yawn. Yes, I am. I am sorry. I don't like to yawn like that, but I can't help it. I wonder whether you generally cut back on the streaming since you have been a co-host on quite a few streams. Well, that Allie was special. That's not normal. I'm always on Charlie's every Wednesday. And last night I did fall asleep while we were talking backstage. And I hear a voice say, you think you ought to go to bed now? And I woke up and I said, yeah, I think I ought to go to bed now. So, yes. But I slept all day. And really, I slept all night. And I got up for an hour or two because the aide came. And I went back to bed all day. So the phone kept waking me up. So it wasn't a solid sleep. It's when you're constantly being woken up, it's not good sleep. But yes, I'm tired. But I only have 50 more minutes and then my sprint will end because I'm being a good girl and only doing 2-hour sprints, except for Charlie's, which are longer. And Allie's was just over 2 hours. But I don't do Allie's all the time. It's only Charlie's that I do every week. But yeah, I'll get done and then I'll eat something. And maybe I'll be awake and maybe I'll just go back to sleep again. I mean, I get done at 11, so 11 my time. And having to get up early. I mean, she was knocking on my door at 8 o'clock this morning. I said, what are you doing here now? She goes, well, I have to take my mother to the doctor, so I have to come early. Didn't they call you and tell you? No, they did not call and tell me, and they still would have woken me up early because I got up at the time I needed to for when you were supposed to be here, not hours earlier. So, yes, I'm tired. Sleep is essential. Yes, it is, Heather. I wish I could sleep. I don't really, I'm more of a cat napper, and I'm constantly waking up. And if I get more than sometimes an hour is enough. If I get an hour or two, I can't go back to sleep. So then I lay there for hours. And then I finally fall asleep. And then something else will wake me up. And that'll be the end of that. I've been up since yesterday. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was up all day. And of course, last night I was at Charlie's stream. And we were still talking at 10 or 11 o'clock. Because I never even made it over to Lars. I usually go to Lars Sprint afterwards. I didn't even make it over there. We were still talking. And then they woke me up because I was falling asleep. I struggled to bed an hour or so later. And I was up early again this morning. And then again, I tried to sleep. And then it's time to get up because of the aide coming, and she came early and screwed me over, and then I went back to bed again. So, yeah, I'm tired. Anyhow, you should remember that yourself. Yeah, sleep is essential, but never having had much sleep, I don't know what a good night's sleep feels like. I've never had one. Never. I mean, when I went through when I go through with bipolar, it's a little under control right now. Thankfully, this medicine somewhat works. But I would go 3 months and not sleep at all. If I laid down, it was for maybe an hour if I was lucky every few days. And then I was up and raring to go because when you have bipolar, you don't have to sleep in the manic stage. Then when I got in the other stage, then all I did was sleep. And then it was get out of bed. Let's go. Come on. You got to go to school. I don't want to go to school. Leave me alone. Get out of bed. You got to go to school. So I'd go to school and then I'd go to sleep. What can I do? I can't help it. I have no control over it. But I've never had it. I don't think I've ever had a really good night's sleep. I don't even know what that is, really. Okay, so now that we've talked about my crazy sleep habits, we have time for another sprint. So let's get another sprint because I'm still copying and pasting. So 20 minutes starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it is physically possible. You've never had bipolar, most likely. Yeah, when you have bipolar, you do not physically need sleep. Your body is full of energy in the manic stage. And I would go 3 months, and I'd be lucky every few days if I managed to get an hour, if I was lucky. Bipolar is not a fun thing to deal with. And then I would go in the opposite stage, and then I couldn't wake up. And it was like sleep for 24 hours. No, you cannot sleep for 24 hours. Get out of bed. Like, no, I'm tired. Leave me alone. Go away. Just go away. Of course, parents do not go away. They dragged me out of bed, sent me to school, where I promptly went to sleep when I got there. So, luckily, my medicines are different now, and I started changing more rapidly than 3 months. Though they say 3 months is pretty short to begin with. Most people cycle every 6 months or more. I cycled every 3 months. And then eventually I started cycling it could be every 5 minutes. Sometimes I'm back and forth. I can't make up my mind what I am. But since I've been medicated, I've been in a much better shape. I do get some sleep now, but some days I don't. Like the other day, 4 o'clock in the morning, I was up all day and all most of the night. Wasn't tired. No sleep. No sleep. Speaking of sleep, I will sleep soon myself if I am no longer there after the spring. Good night. All right. Good night, Greg. Thanks for coming. And I will, maybe not tonight, but I will start, the next chapter in your book. So I will send you that back as soon as I get done with it. So I will see you later. Have a good night. If you leave before I get back, thanks for coming. Okay, so back to my copy pasted. And you know what? One of my chapters is there's something wrong with one of my chapters. I can't copy paste it. It won't come up. There's an error, and I don't know how to fix the error. So I don't know what was in that chapter. Hopefully nothing important. Maybe I can figure it out from reading the one before and after it. I don't know. But it's missing. I'm like, great. I don't know how to fix it. I may have to take it. I don't even remember which one it was. Well, I did write it down. I might have to take that chapter down. If people can't click on the link and go there, there's no sense having it up. All right. So 16 minutes. I will be back. Alrighty. Well, I ended up just getting something to eat. I didn't end up doing anything. So how did everybody else do? I'm not sure who's still here. According to the large StreamYard. I like to say that backwards. StreamYard. There's only 2 people left. How'd you guys do? Hi, BA. Nice to see you. I got 25 minutes left. This 2-hour sprint thing is hard on me. I was used to long sprints. Now I have to watch my time and be a good little girl. And do a 2-hour sprint. I'm not even sure who all's still here. Everybody was dropping off to go to bed, so. I don't know if I should switch from 7 to 9 or 8 to 10 or 9 to 11 doesn't seem to be working so well. Because I had a bunch of people here. Oh, well, thank you for stopping by and saying good night, Laura. I'm awesome. That's so nice to hear. I was telling my daughter how embarrassed I was the other day when people were talking about me, about how wonderful I am. And I'm like, I'm not a wonderful person. I feel terrible. And we have such low self-esteem. I figure people can't possibly like me. And then you guys all go and tell me how awesome I am, and then I get all embarrassed. But I appreciate it very much. And I can't wait till you get your puppy. That ought to be something. A lot of work, though. Be prepared. A lot of work. BA just popped in. Your viewers drop off after 10:30 p.m. 8 to 10 may be better, but whatever fits your schedule. Well, it's weird waiting all the way to 9 o'clock before I can start. Because I was used to starting at 7 or 6, something like that. Now I have to wait till 9 o'clock, and then a few people show up, and then people no sooner get here, and they're already leaving to go to bed. And I'm like, well, obviously this isn't a great time. But I had a lot of people from across the pond. Stig was here, and that was Norway. And somebody else was here. I'm like, that's the hard part. Well, Greg, of course, he's from Ireland, so he comes in for a little while, and then he has to leave because he goes to bed. So. Sitting here eating popcorn. Trying to decide. I started copying over. It takes forever to copy paste One was 50 pieces, the first one, and the second one I'm doing now is 44 pieces. I have to copy and paste, and one of them was wrong. There was an error, and it wouldn't come up, so I don't know what's in that chapter. I mean, I was going to rewrite a lot of it anyhow. That one I'll definitely have to rewrite because I can't even see what's in it. Something's wrong with it. I don't know if it's WordPress or something I did, but can't get it to come up. But it must have come up originally because the people would have told me if they clicked on it and couldn't get it to come up. So I don't understand what happened. Yeah. I'm beta reading for Greg, and some of the things are weird because his English and our English is different. So some of the things he writes, I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what he means by that. Is that, something to do with our two different Englishes or what? I just got chapter 4, so I'll get the chance to continue reading it. He was laughing at me for a while because he started getting more people than he started behind me, and all of a sudden he goes, I passed you in people. Of course, I was in the hospital all that time too. I lost people every time I got in the hospital. And then he says, I got 60-some, I don't know if that's the number or not. Wow, my last video, it did really great. And then today he's like, man, must have hit the wall. I actually lost people. I'm like, it happens. Can be going great, and then all of a sudden people start dropping out. I'm sitting here eating popcorn. Yeah. Funny thing is, because that's the same thing with English, and the King's English they use over there, because they add in color, they add that U. And, humor has a hue, and, all those words, a hue, a U, all those words have U's in them. And sometimes I actually like the U in there better, but we don't use U over here. Exactly, BA. When you don't put out new content, they stop coming, which is because being in the hospital all the time, I was constantly losing people. And even all the regulars I used to have in my streams, a lot of them are gone. They found other streams, and I don't see them anymore. And I'm like, man, kind of sad that, lose people like that. And I was used to seeing them, and they're not here anymore. All right, Laura, good night. Have pleasant dreams yourself. You'll be dreaming of puppies, most likely. Good night. But Greg had been putting out content, and he was getting, I said, well, you found your niche. And when you find your niche like that, you're going to get a lot of people. But there's only so many people. It's not a big niche. So you're going to hit eventually a time where there's not going to be a lot of people coming. Because he writes programs. He's a programmer. So he makes these fancy videos and gets a ton of people come, and he was laughing at me, and then today he said, man, I hit a wall. Nobody, I'm going backwards now. And I said, that's what happens. But I found out if you don't keep the contact, even with the blogging, I'll get a ton of people, and then as soon as I start slowing down my content, people stop interacting. You have to do something else to catch their attention again. But at least I'm done my story, the book. I'm not doing nothing else to it. It's going to the editor. And then it's, after that, it'll be done. It's hard to create new content unless, like in my case, I'm always doing blogs on, prompts that I write. So I run out of, I'm reading your thing. I run out of ideas. So I'm always writing blogs. So on prompts, there's plenty of prompts out there. So it's not so hard to find things to write. If I was doing something where I wanted to teach you how to write something, I would run out of ideas real quick. Sorry, I'm eating. I don't think anybody cares. I'm sorry anybody left. If anybody's left. I don't know if anybody's here besides you and me, BA or not. But it can be hard to find ideas if you're writing, depending on the kind of blog you're writing. Oh, Kelly's still here. Okay, well, you haven't said anything lately, so I wasn't sure if you were still around or not. Okay, cool. Yeah, I used to be up online streaming. I can't do that anymore. My health is not doing so good. BA says I'm eating too. Great minds think alike. Yep. Darn little gnats. Driving me crazy. Like if you write, because you were going to write a short story and whatnot, and you do it in chapters, and you always got something until that story's done. Because that's what I do. I write stories on my blog, and it keeps my people coming back. When you went wahaha, at first I thought you said banana. I thought you said you were eating a banana. I realized that's not banana. I don't have my glasses on. Looks like banana from here. I can only start one more sprint. We go a little after 11, but that's fine. Let me start one more sprint. 20 minutes starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, guys, 20 minutes. See what you can get done. I still have to get the rest of that story copied over. BA says, my problem is working. It is always in the way. Yeah, it can be. I haven't had to do that for over 10 years now. Most of the time when I get off work or on the weekends, I have other stuff that I have to do. So it's become hard to write. I forget a lot of people do actually work. I haven't worked in so long. My time's my time. It doesn't really matter. And I don't always even have a lot of other stuff I have to do. So, I mean, I'm still waiting for your story from Laura's prompt. You promised a story, and so far it hasn't come about. Hmm. Still in the works to change the point of view of the story. Still working on changing some of that over. Yeah, that can be time consuming. I kept making changes, and it's like every time I do that, I have to make sure, that the change I make doesn't mess up something further down in the story. Or maybe even ahead of the story. Sometimes you go back and you'll find something referring to something that's no longer there, and you have to be really careful. I guess I better finish bringing those, see if I can get the rest of those things. I know I won't get them all copy pasted. I got 15 minutes. Let's see what I can do. Start scheduling at least an hour of writing a day. Yeah, some people have to schedule it because they just don't have the time if they don't make the time. I write when I feel like it, but I don't have any pressure on me for other things. I just found another mess up when I'm trying to copy over the story. It's like there's another missing chapter. I'm like, oh man. Probably gonna have to go into my blog and actually fix those that are missing. I'm surprised if there was something wrong. Somebody should have said something, but nobody said anything. All right. I can't remember if that was 3 or 4. I just roughly in an hour, 20 minute sprint, I could do 2. So that was probably roughly 4. A little bit over the 2 hour mark. But I can't figure out what's wrong. I don't know if I should try to figure it out tonight, just go to sleep and figure it out tomorrow because something is definitely wrong. I keep clicking on on different numbers and the same thing comes up. And each one should be a different story. So did I copy paste the wrong thing in when I was doing it? It's possible. I'm just weird. I just find it weird that nobody said anything. Does anybody get anything done during that time? I copied a few spots over. So I ran into that other issue and I can't figure it out. I mean, it wasn't going to be the exact story anyhow. It was just kind of a basic I would say kind of a basic outline to know, kind of where I wanted to go. A lot of it in there was done for prompts and doesn't really need to be in the story. It was just had to be, because I was writing to a prompt. So some of the stuff will come out anyhow. It won't be exactly as it was. And of course, I wrote it all, happy, and because she wanted everything to be family friendly and happy and no dark stuff. So the actual book will have something a little bit more darker than what I just wrote there. Sometimes it is best to sleep on it. Yeah, you're right, BA. Because I keep looking at the same thing and I'm like, this can't be the same thing. How can this be the same thing? So I think maybe my mind is just not working right now. So I might be better off waiting until tomorrow and trying to see if I can look at it and see if I get something different or not. Or did I actually copy the same posts into 2 different chapters? Which is possible. I could have done that when I was doing it, but nobody mentioned it, which was weird. So yeah, I probably should sleep on it instead of sitting here struggling with it right now. Because I'm just getting frustrated. And that's not good either. So, well, Kelly, hope you had a good time tonight. Hope to see you again sometime soon. I usually can't even talk tonight. I usually stream Tuesday and Thursday nights from 9 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. and Saturdays as well, usually. VA says, I know that feeling. It's like I keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different answer, and I'm not getting a different answer. Why am I not getting a different answer? What did I do? What did I do? Well, I'm glad you loved it, and I hope to see you soon. And it's time for me to get off of here and away from this computer because I'm just getting frustrated. And tomorrow I will have to fix whatever it is I did wrong. It looks like I typed the same paragraph in 2 different chapters. That's what it's looking like. But I don't feel like dealing with it now. So I will hopefully see you soon. BA says, have a good night. Glad I got to join in for a few minutes tonight. Yeah, I'm glad to see you. I always miss you guys. I got a few new faces, and I lost a lot of my regular faces for many different reasons, you know, whether it's work or, you know. But when I went in the hospital and there was no new content, I did lose a lot of people. So I do know that is an issue. But I can't help the hospital thing, so I just have to deal with it. So good night, you guys. Thank you all for coming. Have a great night. Pleasant dreams. See you later.